stood in grace, clothed in strength, called blessed by those around her. But somewhere along the line, the world rewrote her story. We're talking about the demise of the Proverbs 31 woman. So what happened to her? She became invisible, replaced by loud voices, the boss culture, the cosmetic crown. We traded sacred wisdom for trending advice, honor for hustle. But there's one thing that the world didn't get right. She was never weak. She was spiritual steel, wrapped in softness, strategic, trusted, spirit-led, keeper of the home, able to do the things that most of us only dream of doing. The image may have been buried, but it's not lost. God is calling us to dig it back up, to revive the crown. I'm Yolanda Dion. Welcome back to Rooted Expressions. And if this is your first time, please don't forget to like and subscribe so that you get all 5 episodes or anything else that I've written. Okay? Let's get started with episode 1. Here we go. So let's start with what happened to the Proverbs 31 woman. The Proverbs 31 woman wasn't just a homemaker. She was a visionary. She bought land, ran her household, and raised children with truth. But her strength wasn't just in what she did. It was in who she served. Proverbs 31:30 reminds us that charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. So let's begin with what happened. First of all, once she was standard, now she's the exception. The Proverbs 31 woman, she was clothed in strength and dignity, wise, hardworking, God-fearing. She's been replaced in many hearts by the pursuit of fame and power, also in self-glory. So what happened to the will to even be her? Why has the world traded her crown for clout? Let's get started with the fact that, number one, the Proverbs 31 woman was God's design. In His Word, He tells us that Proverbs 31:10 through 31 says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? Her price is far above rubies. She is praised for her wisdom, work ethic, kindness, and fear of the Lord. Not for her followers, her brand, or her hustle." Another one is Proverbs 31:30. Says, "Charm is deceitful. It's deceptive. And beauty is fleeting. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised." So that was God's design. This woman is not weak. She's powerful in a way that the world can't even measure. She builds her home, uplifts her husband, and blesses her community. So now we're going to go into what happened because there was a shift from virtue to vanity. Now, in 2 Timothy 3:1-5, it says in the last days, people will be lovers of themselves, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. This prophecy speaks directly to the cultural shift that we're witnessing now. The desire to be seen, admired, and envied has replaced the desire to be faithful, wise, and fruitful. And again, in Isaiah 5:20, it says, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil." So the world now celebrates rebellion over reverence, independence over interdependence, and self-promotion over self-sacrifice. And then next we have the rise of the boss lady. So don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with ambition or leadership. But when it's rooted in pride, not purpose, it becomes idolatry. The modern boss archetype often glorifies self over service, hustle over holiness, and independence over God's design for unity and order. The scripture Jeremiah 9:23-24 says, "Let not the wise boast of their wisdom, or the strong boast of their strength. But let the one who boasts, boast about this, that they have the understanding to know me." That's what we should be boasting on. Okay? This is why now there's a call to return to this woman. We're trying to revive the Proverbs 31 woman, which was what God had designed in the first place. It's the woman that godly men look for. They've learned to just settle with whatever we give them, but then we're upset when it's not going right or they don't seem to be godly men. But we are the women that would raise up these women and men to be godly people. So I'm calling us to do what God says. And God is not looking for perfection. He's looking for surrender. You see, the Proverbs 31 woman isn't outdated. She's eternal. Her strength comes from the Lord. Her value is in her character. And her legacy is built on faith, not fame. Romans 12:2 says, "Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." That's what we're doing today. We're calling for my spiritual sisters to renew your mind. Go back to where you want to be, that Proverbs 31 woman. So ladies, it's time. It's time to return to the standard, not the world's version of success, but God's vision of womanhood. The Proverbs 31 woman isn't gone. She's just waiting for a generation to rise up and wear her mantle again. It's time to revive your crown. Be that woman. Search to find out more about that woman. Revive your crown. all you're doing is renewing your mind and being as God wanted us to be. So we're going to go through more, and our next episode is going to be She Was Never Weak. This is the truth about the Proverbs 31 woman. So join me on our next episode, and I'll see you then. Thanks again for tuning in. I'm Yolanda Dion. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.